What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I just wanted to go into today's NBA schedule. And also, I know people are bringing this up. I've been bringing it up. I just wanted to show you guys. So you can see, if you search just my name, out of nowhere, this happened like about 3 weeks ago. You can see how most people their thumbnails are coming up. This is coming up for mine, so you can see how easy it might be to scroll past. So I'm doing everything I can to make it where people can see them. Obviously, you can see that those aren't the pictures I'm putting out, but it's fine. They're going to, YouTube will YouTube, that's fine, and we're not going to complain. But I can say I put everything in a playlist ahead of time. That way, if you check the playlist, it should always be there, even if it's not making the rounds on, the recommendations, etc. But I wanted to get into tonight's picks. I did go into today's hockey picks last night, so you can watch that video, and we'll recap it as well. But we're playing every NBA game, and I'll run through essentially why I liked each team. Leading off, I do like the Wizards here. I think that it just stands to reason that they get this win. Again, they are competing for the 9-10 spot, right? They're at 9. And just with the line, I think a lot of people are going to be on the Knicks here. And I think Wizards at home getting this win is important. And, you got Porzingis against his old team. You got a couple different factors, but I like the Wizards in this game. And then I'll show you, as far as, just so nobody can get confused, I always put down on my notes what leg all these are going to be. Now, Cavaliers, Hawks, most of these are leg ones, but we have a couple leg twos I like. I like the Hawks to cover. I think they got to get the Hawks above 500. I think they need to be a few games ahead of the Bulls, Wizards, and those teams. I think they're going to be an 8 seed, not a play-in. And I can't imagine people aren't going to be slamming the Cavaliers right now in this game. So the Hawks have to look competitive with the Cavaliers, who they very well might be playing in the playoffs in the second round, maybe even the first, depending on how the records finish out. So, yeah, I think the Hawks definitely need to look strong. So I think they're going to win this game. Same thing with the Heat Bucks. I think the Heat have to be portrayed as in the same league as the Bucks. So I have the Heat winning this. I have the cover, I'll take the point on whatever it closes at. Obviously, we might close up -2, and we're getting 2 points. But I like the Heat to cover, and I do think they'll win. But I always take the Lions, as you know. Hornets, Timberwolves. In this game, I actually like the Hornets to cover because I do think they've given up on the Wolves. I don't think they have the draws they did. When you have the best backcourt, or arguably the best backcourt in the league, and Gobert and Cat, now you're talking. But now you got Cat, who's probably going to get traded. Gobert is never really a draw, and it's just Edwards. So I had them definitely in the playoffs. Now, of course, I'm always willing to reassess. I can see other teams flipping them. I'm not as sold on them flipping on the Kings. Even though I'm sold on other teams possibly flipping the Kings, I'm not on the Wolves. So I like the Hornets cover. Possible upset potential, but I like the Hornets cover. Here, this is one of my favorite plays. I like the Bulls leg 2 to cover. Because if they lose, they're going to be very far outside of playoff contention. And then them and the Magic, it's going to be very tough to even have them compete. You got the Raptors, you got the Pacers, you got the Wizards, Hawks, we'll be up about 4 games on them, assuming that even half of those teams win. So I just think the Bulls need this win. And again, they need this win so they look competitive. You have to have everybody looking like they could be dangerous. So I like the Bulls. Here we got Thunder, Suns, and I do like the Suns for the cover. I think the Suns are going to look good, go on a streak, look realistically unstoppable with Durant. Maybe some growing pains like we saw with Luke and Kyrie, but they're going to go on a run. They're going to give these teams that got these trades a run. The Thunder, you could say, oh, well, they need this win. Not really. They're going to be competing for a 9-10 seed. They need the Lakers to stay close, don't forget. So Thunder winning this game might not help their cause there. They need the Lakers to lose certain games, but at the same time, the Lakers need to stay in it. So I think Suns definitely winning makes sense, but I'll take them to cover. Leaves us Rockets, Warriors, and I'll take the Rockets cover. I think everyone's just going to be assuming that the Warriors come back and win by 30 at home against probably the worst team in the league. And that does happen a lot. They have a much stronger lineup, even without Steph. And I just think the Warriors do most people are going to pick them to cover. They'll probably win, but I'm going to take the Rockets to cover. I could see this being an overtime game, to be honest. And that leaves us with King Clippers, which is another one I like a lot. Clippers cover I like. So I have a theory. I'm going to be going into an NBA playoff theory. As you know, I like the Clippers, Sixers. With the trades, I'm sure you're wondering if I've reassessed. But I will say, I think the Clippers are going to look pretty good. They got guys like Bones. I think they got Bones Highland. And they got rid of Reggie Jackson, which I found interesting. They got rid of a couple guys, which I found interesting. Almost like they're not supposed to win championships. And it'd be the year for Russ. I think Russ is going to wind up looking really good. I've been telling people this. And I think the other guys in the trade, Durant, LeBron, aren't going to look so good. And it would make sense because Russ, he's been the clown of basketball, but I don't see what the guy's done wrong. He's been loyal. He's done what he's been told. So I think they give them a run. I think the Clippers flip the Kings pretty soon. So I like the Clippers here for the cover. And I have college plays as well. I don't want to go, waste too much time. So I'll just go into the college as well. So as you can see, some of these are leg twos. I made the Hawks a leg two because I think a lot of people are going to be on the Cavs. Same logic for the Bulls. There are kind of narratives mixed with the fact that I think the public's going to be on one side. And Clippers Kings, I think it's a good bit of points. Kings have been looking strong, and I think public will be on Kings. So that's why I like Clippers. Now, you can see we have some leg one. So Clippers Kings is a leg two, as I always say. Just something like this. Let's just say the Heat are not to cover, or the Hawks, or we'll say the Wizards are not to cover. We just plug in Clippers for our leg two. Okay, that's all we're going to be doing, and that's how that works. For the leg twos like this, for Hawks, that's a one that's starting at 7. That's fine. We're just going to plug that in for a leg one that lost. Grizzlies did not cover the Sixers, so we plug it in right there. And you see that's how simple the system is. That's what I've been doing this whole time. So that's what we're doing with the NBA, and we'll do Bulls cover Nets. And since I pushed on San Diego, you can see Gonzaga, that was a push. We'll be rerunning that one too. But Pels did not cover the Raptors, so I'm going to go ahead and plug in the Bulls to cover the Nets there for leg 2. And that's all we do. It's that simple. So anyway, that just leaves the Clips, which we will plug in for any leg 1 loss. Now, for college, there's not a lot. But here's the ones I like. I like Morris to cover Manhattan because of the against the spread discrepancy. Manhattan, quite good. Morris, not that good. Public probably be on Manhattan. Only a 4-point line. So I like Morris here. I like Seton Hall to cover Xavier because I think Seton Hall, looking at the line, I think way more people are going to be on Xavier. It's basically an even matchup. So I like Seton Hall in that one. I really like Georgia State to cover James Madison. Very bad record against the spread. I almost made it a leg 3, but I like a couple games more on Saturday tomorrow, so I'm going to go with just leg 2, which, is fine. And then we got St. Peter's and Canisius. I like that game to go over. St. Peter's has been terrible on the over. And Grand Canyon, I think it's a later game too, so you can plug that in for anyone that loses earlier, or just anyone, like you see we have some open. Oilers, Penguins didn't go under. So we could plug them in anywhere. So Georgia State's an earlier game, so I'm going to plug that one in for the Oilers-Penguins loss. So we have a good bit of leg 2s. Obviously, we just basically want to split them or better. Even if we're close to 500, that's fine. And Grand Canyon, Seattle under, that's later tonight. That'll be a leg 2. And this one I'm going to play as a leg 1. It's Stetson Lipscomb. And the reason I like it as a leg 1 is because Stetson's very good on the over. So I just think more people are inclined to bet the over. So you can see we have a ton of plays today for basketball in general. I went over my 5 hockey plays in my other video. And I think we're going to do really well. Closing on 100 pretty soon now, I believe. Because I thought we would have a little sooner. But to be honest, we had a lot of leg 2s, 3s I had to close. And with that comes the inevitable leg 3 losses. But we've done such a good job splitting them that I think we're ahead pace. And way before the finals, I'd say probably in the next week or two we'll be around 100 units since the 27th of December when we had to start after being shut down. And it's just because, again, you see all the plays we have, and especially with hockey, where we're getting some here. one we're getting 225, I think. Not that we're going to definitely win it. I plugged it in somewhere. But anyway, it's plus 225 for if one of our hockey, if the Avalanche cover, if the Avalanche one I have. It's just because, in my opinion, the spreads are best for hockey. Avalanche I have covering the Jets for plus 225. So I just feel like with hockey, baseball coming up, we're going to do really, really well. But I do have some NBA theories, and we're going to go into them. But here's all the plays, and I figured I'd just do college and NBA together. That way you didn't have to watch two separate videos. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.